Hi everybody. Okay, so gonna go over a little bit about what I talked about today, and it went off topic, but that's okay because I always want my girls to express whatever's on their heart, whatever is bothering them. I'm here for it. I noticed that we talked a lot about grudges and forgiveness and different mistakes. So one of the girls was holding on to something that happened so long ago, and she's just mad at it, and she's waiting on the person to say they're sorry. And this is my take on it. You have to forgive people even when they don't say they're sorry, even when they feel like they're not in the wrong. It's going to hold you down. It's going to weigh on you. It's just so important to forgive even if the person isn't sorry. You are blocking your own blessings. You're walking around with a closed fist like this. Two fist. Nope. Well, if you're walking around with all this unforgiveness, your hands are not open to receive. Nothing is open to receive because you're pushing off negative energy. It's bitterness, it's grudge, and you walk around jaded, and then that goes into losing trust because you don't know if the next person is going to act like that person because you're still holding on to something that person did. It's not good for you. The other person probably forgot. They could care less. I mean, again, I say it in my own experience, and it's so valid for me. Again, for those who know my story, if, with me being sexually abused and assaulted, if I waited around for my abuser to apologize, I'd still be waiting. I wouldn't be here doing what it is that I do right now. I can't wait on them to say they're sorry. I have to look at it as hurt people sometimes. And even though I was really young, I was just a kid, I'm 36 now. There's no reason for me to be holding on to that stuff. You have to do your inner work to repair you. You can't wait around for someone to apologize. Their journey is completely different from yours. They're going somewhere completely different than you are. And their growth process is not in your hands. Their maturity process is not in your hands. You can only control what you control, and that's yourself. And give yourself a break. Give yourself, the peace that you deserve, and let it go. Let it go. And you'll feel so much better. You'll be open and receptive to receive all of the good, all of the abundance, all of the life, all of the joy, just to be able to let it go. I mean, it takes no time. You can say, I forgive myself for holding this grudge and for not being perfect. And I put myself on this pedestal of perfection. And because I was doing that, I was putting other people probably on that same pedestal of perfection and thinking that they should be apologizing and they should know better, so they should do better. I forgive that other person for not knowing better and not doing better. That's it. And you're all done. So, and let it go. Okay, so you held a grudge. You may have held a grudge and not forgiven somebody for what? A year, 2 years, 3 months, 4 months. Who cares? The minute you decide to release it, forgive, and let it go, you've also released yourself. You release them, but you're releasing yourself. Because let me tell you, holding that pressure on I said it last time, you can't really be your best self. You self-reflect and say, you know what did I do to, what could I have done better, or different? And then forgive yourself and let it go. All done, because I'm going to leave you with this. You are so much bigger and greater than your worst mistake. Think of the worst mistake that you could have made. I want you to do that. That's your takeaway. I want you to do that for me. Think about the biggest mistake that you've made. The one that you're ashamed of, you don't want to talk about. Put it on your gratitude journal and say, you know what? I'm bigger than this right here. This mistake right here, I am greater than my very worst mistake that I could have ever made. And before I even made that mistake, there was already grace for me. And God already forgave that sin before I even made it. The biggest sin to me has already been forgiven before I even made it. So take that with you. Look at your biggest mistakes. Forgive yourself. Let it go. Forgive someone else who did whatever they did. Let it go. Because guess what? Their mistake is forgiven too. Just, you know, God's light shines on everybody, good and bad. You don't get to dictate, you know, someone else's journey and their growth process. So you're forgiven, they're forgiven. All you got to do is let it go now. So that's my tip for this week and what I taught counseling. Please leave your comments below, and if you ever want to hear a little bit more about what I do, you can always go to the website www.prettytome.org, or I can email you. But you know, I love you all. Forgive and let go. Bye.